I don't go to sleep when I'm tired. I go to sleep when I'm done. You sitting here, you stuck not because you don't have the gift, you stuck because your mindset is off.
But if you're not willing to pay the price to get it, you will never obtain it. That's the truth. That's the hard reality of the human condition, is you have to give blood, sweat, and tears to force your body and your mind to change. And oh my God, people understand the physical transformation, but people do not understand a mental transformation because it's invisible.
What's the first decision you made this morning? I bet it was to go back to bed. The reason why I'm bringing up this first decision that you made today and the inner snooze alarm is because in any area of your life that you want to change, there's one fact that you need to know. You're never going to feel like it. How you get what you want. It's very, very simple to get what you want, but it's not easy. You have to force yourself.
Discipline is the pathway to freedom. Discipline in and of itself doesn't take from you. Discipline gives. Discipline tells you what to say yes to and what not to. It actually lightens your load. It's that thing that makes you you. It's that thing that gives you the energy to improve, to push yourself, to get better, to be willing to fight through good enough. But it starts with you. It starts with being willing to change the things in your life.
What do you want? Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to triple your income? Do you want to start a nonprofit? Do you want to find love? What is it? Anything that's a break from your routine is going to require force.
The pain and suffering that is the process of growing and getting better. Here's the thing, humans are capable of change, extraordinary change, transformation, to go from one thing to something else that is truly unrecognizable. To think of the person you are today as being a waylay point to the person that you can become. And over there, on the other side of that transformation, is somebody so much more powerful and greater than who you are today, but you've got to answer how badly you want it.
The first step is getting completely and brutally honest enough to say, I am tired of myself. When you say, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, that's the facilitator of change. That's when you're ready to say these words, no more excuses. No more excuses.
Why don't you have what you want? When you have all the information that you need, you have the contacts that you need, there are probably free tools online that allow you to start a business or join a group or do whatever the heck you want. It's the routine that's killing you.
Everybody's gonna get the same information. Everybody's gonna get the same path. Everybody's gonna get the same speakers. Everybody's gonna get the exact same thing. Everybody's gonna have access to the exact same thing. The problem is, everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do what real beasts do. Everybody gets excited. E.T., the guru story, but nobody wants to get up at 3 o'clock. Everybody's excited when I say, I wake up at 3 o'clock, Eric's a beast, 3 o'clock. And then you try it twice at 5, and like for real, you walk out of here pumped up, fired up, you get some new information, you're ready. Everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do. And what you have to understand is, everybody that you're gonna hear from, Eric Thomas, my mother got pregnant with me at 17 years old, high school dropout, ate out of trash cans, lived in abandoned buildings, slept in cars, multi-million company that's changing the world. I didn't say America, the world. Why? Because not only do I wanna be a beast, if you follow my 24 hours, I do what beasts do.
I think the good and the great are only separated by a willingness to sacrifice. And what are you willing to sacrifice? Have you thought about it? Have you actually asked yourself that question? Have you written down an answer? So no matter what anybody thinks, no matter how much hatred is slung at you, if you have a vision of yourself and what you can become, and you are willing to sacrifice to get there, and you are willing to suffer and endure, all that matters is whether or not you actually get great at something. And if you get great at something, no matter who tries to stop you, my friends, booze can't block dunks.
Everything in your life happens for a reason. Your responsibility is to look at these things in your life and ask this question: why now?
You need activation energy to start the chain, to start to sit down, to start to get out of bed, to start to walk out the door. That's the key to creating any kind of change. This activation energy inside of you that causes the initial boom. And then what do we hear over time? Once you start, there's a chain reaction, and that allows you to keep going.
You have to act on your passion. You have to act on your inner drive. Don't let those feelings stay inside of you. You gotta know what to do with them. You gotta know how to make them work in order to get what you want. Don't keep it inside.
You want to improve? You want to get better? You want to get on a workout program or a clean diet? You want to start a business? Where do you start? You start right here. And when do you start? You start right now.
Everybody, at one point in time in your life, to be successful, you have to jump. Jumping is the hardest thing for people to do, but you have to jump. If you never jump, you'll never be successful. When you first jump, I guarantee you the parachute ain't gonna open. I promise you that. But guess what? Eventually it does open. And then you start your glide, but it starts with the jump. You have to jump, man.
No matter how painful it is, I gotta keep going, and I gotta keep going because what is my passion? What is my focus? Your focus and your passion will numb you to failure and to pain of striving to get to where you're trying to go.
I don't accept that I am what I am and that is what I'm doomed to be. No, I don't accept that. I'm fighting. I'm always fighting. I'm struggling and I'm scrapping. And I'm kicking and clawing at those weaknesses to change them, to stop them. Some days I win. Some days I don't. But each and every day, I get back up and I move forward with my fists clenched toward the battle, toward the struggle. And I fight with everything I've got to overcome those weaknesses and those shortfalls and those flaws.
So literally, without goals, you're directionless. You will be used. See, people without goals get used by other people who have them. People that don't have goals work for people who do. And so you want to be someone who picks up and gets clear about what you want. Make a list, 101 goals. I want to go to Paris. I want to, skydive. I want to bungee cord jump. I want to play the guitar. I want to learn to juggle. I want to learn 2 magic tricks for the kids. I want to go to the Olympics in Beijing. Whatever it is, make the list.
You have to delete all the negativity in the world and focus on things that make you feel great. So you could focus on a relationship you have. You could focus on how much you've already learned in the last 6 or 7 or 8 days. You could focus on the people that love you. You could focus on your ability as a human being to change your life at any moment in time.
You have to be crazy in believing what your goal and your passion is. Because when something is crazy, even though it's crazy, you still do it, right?
Every single person is designed from infancy with special talents and abilities that if you develop them to their height can enable you to accomplish anything you want in life. Everyone is genetically structured to be able to do something superbly, to do something they enjoy, to do it well, and to get great satisfaction from it.
There is no capability difference between you and someone you consider to be an ultimate role model of success. The only difference is they've learned to use their mind and body with more power on a consistent basis. They've learned to manage their state. They've learned to use their body effectively. Whether they know it or not consciously doesn't matter. A lot of people do things without being aware of how they do it. And they've learned to control their mental focus. Remember, whatever we concentrate our focus on consistently and strive to learn from and make new distinctions about, we will get great at.
I want to reassure you that you can do it. I want you to reassure you that you can make the decisions. I want to reassure you that no matter what the night, no matter what the storm, no matter what the difficulty, there isn't anybody here that can't figure it out, find some things to do, step at a time. Yes, Minute at a time, yes. Day at a time, yes. Week at a time, yes. But there isn't anything you can't walk away from. There isn't any challenge you can't overcome. I want you to have that kind of belief in yourself.
You've got to believe in yourself. You just have to. And then you do it. You see it, you believe it, and then you do it.
As Ernest Hemingway noted, the world breaks everyone, and afterward, many are stronger in the broken places. But my question is, why isn't everyone? To me, it comes down to the strategies that you use. There really isn't anything objectively good or bad. There isn't anything that happens to you that can't be overcome. There isn't anything that could happen to you, anything that when you turn inward, you can't find a reason to overcome. You can't find a way to put those pieces back together, and that becomes your job. It becomes literally up to you whether you're going to sit and wallow and woe is me, because what happened, happened, and there's no way to take it back. But how you respond, what you bring to that table, whether you meet fire with fire, whether you meet that adversity with falling apart, becoming weaker in the areas that broke, or you bind them and mend them and it becomes like a weld that literally makes you stronger, is a choice. And it's a choice only you get to make. But as Stephen Hawking said, when you complain, nobody wants to help you. There are many things in your life that you have every reason to complain about. You have every reason to be upset by the things that have happened to you. The most sinister thing about excuses is they're valid. There's a million reasons why you should be able to give up. There's a million reasons why you shouldn't need to try. That thing that broke you, you should be allowed to just sit on the ground. And here's the thing, that's your right. You have every reason to do it. And maybe people won't even think less of you. But here's the truth. You either become weaker or stronger in the places that broke, and that's a choice of how you react moving forward. The great news is, the best thing that you could do to become stronger is love yourself. And as Kamal Ravikant said, loving yourself is a practice. People think that it's something that's gonna feel right, that it's gonna feel natural, that you're just gonna turn inward and there it is, this spark of love and joy for yourself, inside yourself. But the truth is, that's just not the human experience. That's not the way that it works. There's gonna be a voice inside your head and it's going to blame you. It's gonna say that it's your fault. And no matter how many times people on the outside tell you that that is not true, that this thing happened to you, that it isn't you, it doesn't define you, there will be a voice that's going to tell you that it does. And that's where you have to fall back on process. That's where you have to realize that you literally have to practice loving yourself, and that it's okay, that no matter what happened, there is absolutely nothing that invalidates that you're worthy of your own love. But you've got to practice it. You've got to be willing to do it. You've got to be willing to put in the reps. You've got to know that it's not going to feel right, but you've got to know on the other side of that is a vision of your life where you actually do love yourself. Because you took the time to say it. You took the time to practice it. You took the time to sit there and feel stupid and say that you love yourself. And sometimes just putting in the work is what you need to do to get strong. So put in the work.
Realize that your life situation here today, okay, is a result, and it's basically determined by all of your habits. Okay, and if you want more, if you want something different, you can't let these habits just, form on their own. So what I want you to do right now, okay, is look at your life. Look at your life situation, look at where the you're at, and ask yourself, okay, very honestly, very bluntly, how did you get here? Okay, what are all the little events, all the little decisions, all the little factors, that, again, an accumulation of that got you to this point here.
If you keep up your present disciplines and keep up the present pace that you're on, where will you be in 5 years? Now you can keep on the same path for the next couple of years as you have the past two. But if you wish to, and maybe everything's okay for you and you don't need to, but if you need to make some changes, I'm telling you, you can start doing it today so that the next 2 years will be drastically different than the last two.
Question everyone else, they see nice cars. How's that person afford that car? What do they do? So we're just simply asking people what they do for tell us.
I know that my friends own very supercars.
Okay.
And I think they all, one thing is they're very disciplined.
Okay.
They work really hard. And in years of dedication to their hard work, they come to a point that they could afford these cars.
Every single successful person that I know has these habits, okay? He's extremely proactive. No one just drifts to the top out of luck.
Tell me about what was your secret? How did you become a self-made multi-millionaire? You know, how did it all happen?
It's funny. Everybody wants a shortcut, right? That's the most common question people always ask me. Tell me the key.
Yeah.
And there is no magic. It's just a lot of little things you got to do every day. Success is all those boring, sexy things that have to get done every single day to move the ball forward. There's going to be bad days, there's going to be dark days, but you got to embrace it because that pain is what makes you stronger. Success is not measured on the days when the sun shines. Success is measured on the dark, stormy, cloudy days. And if you can't absorb failure, you're never going to meet success.
Most people don't know why they're where they are. You see, I have found one thing. Everyone knows how to do a better job than they're doing. That's not the problem. We do know how. The problem is we're not doing what we know how to do.
People think, oh, you're living this disciplined lifestyle, so that means you don't have any freedom. And it's actually the exact opposite. I have freedom because I have discipline. I have financial freedom because I have financial discipline. I have more time. I have more time because I have the discipline to get up in the morning, before most normal people get up.
Almost everything you do from the time you get up in the morning is habit. So start to think about yourself. What would be the best habits to have?
Develop the habits. You've got the brain power, you've got the energy, but develop the habits of success and look around you at the people that you admire, and list what makes you admire them compared to somebody else that looks equally strong or equally talented. And those are things that you can do. I mean, just write them down.
As we all know, real growth and development cannot take place overnight. You must pay the price over an extended period of time to reap the benefits of these habits. So I encourage you to make the investment, put forth the time and effort. Focus on the kinds of changes you can make consistently and over time to develop these habits.
Well, I think the one thing that discipline definitely does help you with is it helps you get things done. And when you get things done, when you actually do things, you have more success. If you have more success, and sometimes a big part of success is just not being lazy and just doing it. That's like 90% of it is just showing up. Get there and start working. Like, you're not gonna feel perfect every day. The pro goes to work, and it doesn't matter if you're sick, it doesn't matter if you have kids, it doesn't matter what, you're a pro and you go to work.
You will receive from the world who you become. But the doorway to success, I suggest to you, swings inward, not outward. And the best way to have a game-changing life, and the best way to have a world-class lifestyle, and the best way to change the world is to change yourself. I mean, we get from life who we become.
The world is filled with talented people, and they never accomplish anything. The body has limitations, the mind does not. We focus so much on what goes on from the neck down that we forget it all starts from here. If you're not mentally ready, you're never really physically prepared.
Why most people never achieve their goals while 2 or 3% really achieve a high level of success? The people who took this one action every single day were the ones who achieved their goals and dreams more often than anybody else.
Finding your passion is also one of the biggest questions. You just gotta try everything. You just gotta keep trying. I mean, that's the thing, is like, you have to be motivated to at least try.
I firmly believe that everybody on this planet has a gift. It's your job to figure out what that gift is. Then it becomes your job to decide whether you're going to act on that or not.
There is nothing we cannot do. It's really a matter of setting a focused goal, because without a target, you'll miss it every time. Picking a target and then picking the steps along the way and realizing that all the resources, all the capital, all the expertise is there. But ultimately, it's only going to be tapped if that target is in your heart and your soul.
What changes our whole life is action. Why don't we take action? Fear. What do we got to do to get ourselves to do it? We got to make sure that we push ourselves through it by making a decision. The point in which change happens is a decision. Every change in your life that you want will come from something simple, a decision.
See, a real decision is not like a preference. It's not like where you say, I'll try it and see. That's not a decision. Decision comes from Latin. It means like incision, to cut off from. Decision is when you cut off any possibility except the thing you committed to. It's like that is it.
A decision is the first step. Decision is like a war. I gotta do this or that. All right, I'm gonna make myself do this. But commitment is when you now, after you've decided, you commit to do this for the long term. Whether it's hard or easy, doesn't matter. You're doing this. It takes it from this moment and it carries it into the future even when things are difficult. Decide, commit, and resolve.
Don't wait until you're 25 or 35 or 45 years old. Start building that discipline right now to get what you want, because there's 7 billion other people on this planet trying to get it, trying to get this thing called success. See, most people think success is a straight line. I'm gonna get out of high school, I'm gonna get a job, and everything's gonna be fine. That's not how it plays out, folks, okay? This is how it plays out. Guy decides he wants something, and the line gets all squiggly. See, that's really what success looks like.
Discipline means taking the hard road, the uphill road, to do what's right.
Most people stop at failure. We've all failed at things. I'm going to continue to fail at stuff, right? It's the most powerful tool you can use, but it all depends on how you use it. And most people are just satisfied with at. There's always a next level. Your definition of greatness and what you want to achieve could be totally different than somebody else's. You know, we always say, no one wants to be first, okay, because they're afraid of the consequences that come with doing something first. You can't be a failure. You're the first to do something. If you're the first to do something, you can't be listed as a failure.
There's two types of people. People that are gonna get what they want and the life they want, and people that don't. Two types of people, folks. People that get the life they want, and everybody else.
A lot of people out there that are constantly trying to improve themselves by looking for the one change. The one change, right? The one change in their life that's gonna make their dreams come true. It isn't one thing. And it isn't 10 things, and it isn't 100 things. It isn't a quick path, and there are no shortcuts. Getting better isn't a hack or a trick or a one change that you need to make. Getting better is a campaign. It's a campaign. It's a daily, a weekly, it's an hourly fight. An incessant fight that doesn't stop against weakness and against temptation and against laziness. It's a campaign of discipline. It's a campaign of hard work and dedication. It's waking up early and going to bed late and grinding out every second in between. Every single day. Just start doing it. Take that first step and make it happen. Get after it. And get after it here and now.
Every one of us who's a goal achiever sets goals, but very few people think about the obstacles that are there and them overcoming the obstacles. And in order to become an amazing goal achiever, you have to accept the fact that there will be obstacles, but you also have to prime your brain to recognize the obstacles and to teach it that you can overcome it. And you can do that in your mind first, and you back it up with a plan, and guess what? You will start to become a goal achiever instead of just somebody who sets a goal.
If you don't like the way your career is or your business is, change it. If you don't like your body, change it. You don't like your relationship, change you first, because if you change it, you'll bring you to the next one. Maybe it's time to change it too, but change yourself first. If you want to change anything in your life, you have the choice. So there is no right or wrong. I just want to make you aware in this breakthrough session that everything in our life changes the moment we make a decision. And I mean a real decision. A decision is when you cut off any other possibility and you commit to something with everything you've got and you take action. But the big decisions start with little decisions like, what am I going to focus on? Because whatever you focus on, you're going to feel.
So instead of sitting in that job for the next 10 years, go do your thing. You've got plenty and plenty of time.
People want to know how to stop the laziness, and they want to know how to stop the procrastination. They have some idea in their head, you know, some kind of a vision of what they want to do. But they don't know where to start. They don't know where to start it, you know? They don't know where to start. Where do I start? And when's the best time to start? And I have a very simple answer for that. Here and now. That's it. You want to improve? You want to get better? You want to get on a workout program or a clean diet? You want to start a business? You want to write a book or make a movie or build a house or a computer or put together some mobile application? Where do you start? You start right here. And when do you start? You start right now. Because the idea isn't going to execute itself. And the book isn't going to write itself. And the weights out in the gym, they're not going to move themselves. You have to do it, and you have to do it now. You want to get better? You want to self-improve? Stop looking for a shortcut and go find your discipline. And find your guts and your passion and your drive and find your will. And then you will find your freedom.
There are many ways to get the things that we want for ourselves in our lives. But basically, it all begins with how we choose to think.
If you really want to get lasting change, real results that stick around, what do you got to do? If you want lasting change, you've got to give up this idea of trying something. You got to decide you're going to commit to mastery. Most people dabble. They talk about, well, I'd like to change my body, I'd like to make my relationship better, I'd like to have more passion there, but they don't know what to do, and even if they did, they don't have enough detail to be able to follow through.
If we want to achieve another result that we've never achieved before, then we have to become somebody different. We have to upgrade our skills, we have to upgrade our behaviors, we have to master our emotions better.
Self-made millionaires have been studied exhaustively, they've been analyzed, they've been interviewed by the hundreds of thousands and millions, and what we know is exactly who they are and what they do and how they think. And the wonderful thing is this, if you do what other successful people do, you eventually get the same result that they do.
Walt Disney said, if you can dream it, you can do it. Which means that you're never given a dream that comes out of your own desire place that isn't something you have the capacity to fulfill. You may have to learn some new skills, you may have to partner up with some people, you may need to learn some, how to access some new resources along the way. But all of that is possible if you'll simply dream the big dream.
Have a mind that is open to everything and attached to nothing. One of the central principles of my life is that no one knows enough to be a pessimist about anything. And that each and every one of us, when we close our mind to what is possible for us or what is possible for humanity, closes off the genius that resides and lives in each and every one of us.
Decide what you want. You can't get from here to there unless you know where here is and there is. So if you're going to decide what you want, go for what you want, not what you think is possible. Most people hone down their dream because they can't see how they can do it. And I'm saying to you, dream as big as you want. In fact, big dreams are exciting. Big dreams attract big people.
I had a teacher named Jim Rohn. He was a personal development speaker. And I remember I was really frustrated, and I'd been working my guts out 12, 14-hour days. Nothing was working. And I was pissed off and I was frustrated. And he said, Tony, he said, you're so focused on expecting things to happen so fast. And he said, if you really focus instead on building your skills, your gifts will make room for you. Today, people have no patience. We all want it right now, and people don't only not commit to mastery, they think they have all the answers, they try a few things, if it doesn't work, they run to something else. If you want a great jump in the quality of your life, an extraordinary jump in the quality of your life, you gotta set yourself up to win. You gotta set yourself up with a process that allows you to consistently grow, consistently enjoy your life, and consistently produce the results that you're really after.
Success is very simple. If you have a clear goal, make a plan to achieve it, and then do something, at least one thing each day, that moves you one step closer to your most important goal.
progress equals happiness. If you're growing in anything, financially, spiritually, emotionally, in your relationship, in your body, you're going to feel better in your life. That's what we're made for. And I think we're meant to grow so we have something to give. You know, you can't give something you really don't have.
Form good habits and make them your masters.
Most people are interested, they're not committed. And the difference is when you're interested, you do what's convenient and what's easy. When you're committed, you do whatever it takes. When you're interested, you do what's easy and what's convenient for you. But when you're committed, I'm going to get that result. You put everything into it until you get the result.
You got to get going. You got to take action. The disciplines is the miracle process. And here's how to get the miracle of your future going as far as disciplines are concerned. Number one, do what you can. Learning is the beginning of wealth. Learning is the beginning of life change. And don't be lazy in learning. Don't be lazy in picking up the ideas. Don't be lazy in learning from your own experience.
How many times have you had a great idea, didn't do anything about it, and then a year later someone did something about it, made a lot of money, got the promotion, etc. So when you have the idea, the inspiration to act, it's time. Act. You don't have to know it perfectly.
I am straight, I am wise, and I am passionate!
If you decide you're going to do something, do it. You know, they've done dozens and dozens of studies over the years. They find that there's one major difference between successful people and unsuccessful people. Successful people launch. They start. They get on with it. They just do it. Unsuccessful people get the same ideas and the same information, but they've always got an excuse for not starting.
If you have a big enough reason why you want to achieve something, you'll do whatever it takes. But if your reason isn't big enough, your excuses will be.
And one of the things that we kind of believe and hang on to and live with is this whole idea that all of the things that happened to me in my past are what are keeping me from doing what I'd like to do today. So we hang on to these things and we fill ourselves with blame.
Because life is not so simple and black and white. My mother beat the shit out of me. She loved me. She was freaked out I was going to leave. I was a source of everything. I blame her for all the beauty in my life. I blame her that I have the woman I have in my life because I cherish my wife, because I know what the opposite is. I blame her for the capacity to feel and care. I blame her for my insatiable hunger to end suffering for any human I can, because I suffered a ton.
Get emotionally fit by learning to trade what upsets you, which is your expectations that aren't being met. Trade your expectations for appreciation for what you do have. Your whole life changes in a moment. Because our expectations make us pissed off or frustrated or worried or sad, and we all have them, and I have them too. But when they come up, I just remind myself, look, this is just my mind. I'm more than this mind. I got a heart and soul. What can I appreciate? How can I use this challenge to go to a deeper level? And that's the only way we get free. The only way to have a great life is decide I'm going to find beauty in anything that happens in my life. I'm sure if you look back on your life, most of us have had experiences where, you know, something horrible happens, something you never want to go through again in your lifetime. But at the same time, you know that 5-10 years later, you look back and go, I would never want to go through it. I would never want anybody I care about to go through that. But I'm glad I did, because it made me so strong to deal with that.
When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
What makes us suffer is our thoughts, right? We're the only creatures on earth that can have thoughts and then make ourselves feel like shit, or have thoughts and make ourselves feel good. And most people don't master their minds. And so their minds go crazy, and we believe our thoughts. We believe that if this doesn't happen, our lives are going to be so stressed or over. And most of it is just bullshit. The mind is looking for what's wrong. Your heart can change all that. If you decide today, and if this is all I got across in this piece, and I actually reached you, is for you to decide that I'm 100% responsible for the experience of my life, and that anything can happen. I am bigger than the moment. I am more than anything can happen to me, and I can find a way to find something beautiful, something helpful, something, you know, enjoyable.
Change your thoughts, and you change your world. Change your expectations, and you change around what you begin to manifest and see showing up in your life.
I'm not asking you to stop blaming. I'm saying blame elegantly, blame intelligently, blame effectively. Blame at the level of your soul, not the level of your head.
No more blame. I'm just not going to assign responsibility to other people for where I am, because now I have an opportunity to get rid of it. If I think someone else caused it, then I've got to wait for somebody else to change in order for me to get rid of it, and you might wait forever for that. But if I take responsibility for it, I can do something.
I wanted to do something that nobody had ever done before. And that started with a dream and a goal. I wanted to be the greatest of all time. I went 5 straight years without missing a single day of workout, 365 days a year. Every single day I was gonna work. There are days you're not gonna wanna do it, sure. I mean, everybody has those days. But it's what you do on those days that help you move forward. I'm living a dream.
What is the vision for your life? What are the ideas and the dreams for your life? What are you supposed to be doing? Who are you? What are your gifts and talents? What is your ultimate destiny and your goals?
If you can see it here, and you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen.
I'm an up-and-coming fighter, and without a doubt, you will see me on the UFC in the near future, without a doubt.
The first thing is to be honest with yourself. You can never have an impact on society if you have not changed yourself.
You can go way beyond ordinary. You can go way beyond just being average. All of us are extraordinary. We just have to come to believe it.
Just don't ever give up. Yeah, good is never going to be good enough. Go out and do your best. Don't wait for someone else to do it for you. Go out and make it happen yourself. Be in control of your own destiny.
That most people allow their fear of failure, 80%, allow their fear of failure to outweigh their desire to succeed. When you're willing to fail again and again and again, when you make up your mind to become unstoppable, when you make up your mind to become a no matter what person, then that will then give birth to a part of yourself that you don't know right now.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
In the long term, what we'd like to do is to establish a city on Mars and help make humanity a multi-planet species and a true spacefaring civilization. That's the ultimate goal.
When you had that third failure in a row, did you think, I need to pack this in?
Never.
Why not?
I don't ever give up. The odds of me coming into the rocket business, not knowing anything about rockets, not having ever built anything, I mean, I would have to be insane if I thought the odds were in my favor.
Why even begin?
When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor.
That dream that you're holding in your mind, that it's possible. See, sometimes we can't say, I can do that. But what we can say, that it's possible, that I can have my dream.
My mother got pregnant with me at 17 years old. My grandma had 14 kids and like a 2-3 bedroom house on the south side of Chicago. Like, I didn't become a PhD because my father got a PhD and my grandfather got a PhD. I'm the first one in my family with a PhD. Like, this was birthed from struggle.
You know my story. You can get anywhere you want from grinding.
Every single person doubted me. Every single fighter doubted me. Doubt me now.
When critics say you can't do this, your answer to them is, we've done it.
Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality.
The day that you allow the opinions of the outside world to dictate the way you feel about yourself, it is the beginning of the end of you living a blessed and self-loving, secure life.
When I say see it, I mean before it even happens. That's what the greats do. Like, they see it before it happens, and then they actually get up every day and create it.
I saw it so clearly, I swear to God, I saw it so clearly, so consistently, until it's here in reality.
When you see the invisible, you're able to do the impossible. I'll say it again, only those that can see the invisible can do the impossible.
Musk bet the company on another flight.
We have liftoff.
This time around, everything worked.
Perfect.
Don't stop! Don't stop! about your dream.
Everyone in the world has a list of things they think they should do. I should lose weight. I should work out. I should spend more time with my kids. I should work harder. I should make more calls. I should. And then you know what? People don't do their shoulds, and they get mad at themselves, and they what I call should all over themselves. They beat themselves up about it. What changes people is when your should becomes a must. When suddenly the thing you said should happen has to happen. That's when human beings change. It's like if you want to take the island and you're the head of the army and you want to take the island, the most powerful way to take the island is burn the boats. Because if there's no way to go back, it's amazing what happens when it's a must to do something versus a should.
No matter how busy you are, no matter what's on your plate, you absolutely must, if you want to be legendary, you absolutely have to do this. Schedule 60 minutes a day for your learning. It could be listening to audiobooks. It could be the next day listening to a podcast. It might be reading quietly. It might be writing in a journal, because writing in a journal about what you're learning, what you learned from your day, what you're learning from your life, that is learning. But 60 minutes a day, I absolutely challenge you with great love and respect. Wire it into your day, because that ritual will allow you to know more about your field than anyone who's ever done your field in the history of the world.
If you want to change the world, you've got to keep trying new things. You've got to keep pushing. You've got to keep falling down.
When you're starting your day at 4:30 in the morning, whatever, do that, the rest of your day, no matter what happens, is a breeze. You've tackled the hardest part of your day. No matter what goes on, you have the confidence and you have the wherewithal, the tool belt, if you will, to be able to attack. Sometimes it's just showing up and being able to push yourself a little bit more than yesterday. I call it finding your hard. You know, when you find your hard every day, man, life is a lot better. You know, because what happens is you're either the CEO of your life or you're going to be someone else. You're going to be life's employee. And every day, if you wake up, you don't take control of your day and you don't dominate the day as best you can start to finish, life is going to own you. You know, if you're waking up with a negative attitude, you have to be able to step back and self-assess. Why am I in a bad mood? And you have to work from that minute forward to build that tool in your belt, if you will, to be able to assess it, address it, apply it, if you will, and then move forward. If you can do that, I'll tell you, life gets exponentially easier and easier and easier every day. And before you know it, you're working with greater efficiency, more confidence, more determination, and you set yourself on a path to truly self-generate success. But more importantly, you're happy.
We have the power to strip away from the busyness, to do great work that matters. We have the power to be the most positive people we know. We have the power to shift from making excuses to creating results. You have the power to use today to make a choice to get really fit or to create the financial life that you want.
If you don't like the way your career is or your business is, change it. If you don't like your body, change it. If you don't like your relationship, change you first. Because if you change it, you'll bring you to the next one. Maybe it's time to change it too, but change yourself first. If you want to change anything in your life, you have the choice. So there's no right or wrong. I just want to make you aware in this breakthrough session that everything in our life changes the moment we make a decision. And I mean a real decision. A decision is when you cut off any other possibility and you commit to something with everything you've got and you take action. But the big decisions start with little decisions like, what am I going to focus on? Because whatever you focus on, you're going to feel.
The number one defining factor of whether we become successful or average is whether we have grit. Grit is the ability to stay true to your vision and not dilute it when you get laughed at. Grit is the ability to try an innovation, experience failure, and to say, I'm going to continue, and I'm actually going to learn and use that experience to get me closer on my path to the mountaintop.
Is the one thing in life on which we can absolutely count. People who stay young all the years of their lives not only welcome change, but see it for what it really is: new opportunity, new chances for further fulfillment. Attitude is a reflection, a result of a person's will. It is incalculably powerful. It can bring about marvelous results for us, but we need to train it patiently, day by day.
Education is inoculation against disruption. And as you know more, you can achieve more.
I like to use one quote that the limitations exist only in our minds, and if you start using imagination, then your possibilities become limitless.
If
If you're going to be successful in creating the life of your dreams, you have to believe that you are capable of making it happen. You have to believe that you have the right stuff and that you're able to pull it off. Now, whether you call it self-esteem, self-confidence, or self-assurance, it's a deep-seated belief that you have what it takes, the abilities, the inner resources, the talents, and the skills to create your desired results. Now, believing in yourself is simply an attitude. Believing in yourself is a choice. You have to choose to believe that you can do anything you set your mind to. Anything at all. Because, in fact, you can.
People who reach the top in whatever they're doing consistently say that you need to follow your passion. And I think the number one reason why people fail in business, in life, is because they're not doing the thing that they're passionate about. Is because they're making too many decisions with the head and not the heart. Where for every major decision that you make in your life, the big ones, you have to make with your heart and not your head, because your head will lead you down the wrong path. Your head only understands the logical world that currently exists, where your heart can help you create something that does not yet exist. And you have the ability, the skills, the talent, the tenacity to be able to create something that nobody else has ever done before.
Don't stop. Narrow your focus to one idea, and make it work. That will give birth to all the others.
Look, I suggest to you that this driving force is critical to making your dreams come true, providing for your family, to make those goals, that purpose that is unique to you, real. A real reality, not just a concept in your mind. Motivation is literally the desire to do things, and I know you have it in you. That's why you're watching this. That motivation is the difference between waking up before dawn, okay, to go out excited and staying in the workplace for longer than anyone else, and then when you get home at night exhausted, you still can't go to sleep. You're excited. You're motivated. This is that crucial element in setting and attaining goals.